It's a beautiful morning. You're welcome to Women's Corner. Of course, it's a Friday edition, and it's interesting to be here because every Friday you have this realization that you have to relax, you have to, be cool or friendly, and every party that you have, you definitely have to go. It's good to be here. My name is Rose Blossom. I want you to know that we have a YouTube channel, the Galaxy TV Comedy, Galaxy TV News, and Galaxy TV Entertainment. Also, for all entertainment, package events, the event moment, the red carpet moment. We have it on Galaxy TV Vibe. And we have our app on Google Play Store and Apple Play Store. So you can just type in Galaxy TV and download all of our apps to watch all the live programs live from there. And of course, I'm not doing this alone today. Today is actually very special because of the package we have for today. But of course, let my co-host do a thing.
Oh my goodness. First of all, before I introduce myself, I must say, Rose Blossom, you look dashing this morning.
World.
My goodness.
Oh my world.
Is today your wedding?
I'm blushing. Yeah, this is the kind of clothes I want to wear my wedding.
Oh my God. I mean, you look really good. Anyways,
you.
Good morning, esteemed viewers. Good morning. How are you doing today? And like Rose Blossom said, thank God it's Friday. I love Fridays. And my name is Covenant, aka the Lagos Girl. And trust me, today I don't want to talk too much, but today we have really fantastic things lined up for you today. We have fantastic topics and healthy tips lined up for you today.
Yeah.
So just all you have to do is sit back, relax, get comfortable, and enjoy yourself as we dive into today's conversation.
Yes, we're diving into today's conversation. Of course, today we're talking about something quite interesting because the usual, we're supposed to do a little bit of entertainment. Yes, we're going to do all of those ones. But before that, I want you to know that the guest we're having today, she had to, record some of her voices, some of the questions I asked her because, of course, the time difference is 8 hours difference.
Yeah.
And of course, by this time, she's already sleeping. So I said, okay, let's stress you a little bit. I'm going to ask you questions and you're just going to respond via a video. So that's what we will be giving to you. And as much as possible, we'll try to, explain a little bit of what her response is. Anyways, her name is Nike Ajayi. She's a life coach. She's so much more. She's a certified therapist. And of course, she's a CEO of her own company and she's an entrepreneur, business, a woman advocate. Whenever I call on Nike, she's always ready to give me, all my response. But, before we talk about women and, I'll not say our wahala. I'll say our interesting personalities, giving advice and dishing advice. Let's quickly go for a dating tips because, of course, we're talking about relationship and marriage today. So let's go for the dating tips. And, of course, we'll come back to the studio to get Nike Ajayi's response all the way from Canada. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Dating safety tips. Meeting new people is exciting, but you should always be cautious when interacting with someone you don't know. Use your best judgment and put your safety first, whether you are exchanging initial messages or meeting in person. While you can't control the actions of others, there are things you can do to help you stay safe during your dating experience. Never send money or share financial information. Protect your personal information. Be wary of long-distance and overseas relationships. Report all suspicious and offensive behavior. Don't be in a rush. Take your time and get to know the other person before agreeing to meet. Meet in public and stay in public. Tell friends and family about your plans. Be in control of your transportation. Know your limits. Don't leave drinks or personal items unattended. If you feel uncomfortable, leave. Before you get physically intimate with a partner, talk about sexual health and STI testing. All sexual activities must start with consent and should include ongoing check-ins with your partner. Road safety tips. Rules for pedestrians. Prepare a safe walking route in advance. Use sidewalks if they are available. Work facing the traffic if a sidewalk isn't available. Obey all signs and signals. Only cross street at designated areas. Stay on well-lit paths at night. Wear bright colors during the day and reflective tapes at night. Watch for cars that are turning or backing up. Avoid drugs and alcohol if you plan to go walking. Do not assume other drivers see you or will stop when they should. Work defensively. How to cross the road safely in 5 steps. Find a safe place to cross. Make sure you can see in all directions and that drivers can see you too. If there is a designated crossing area, use it and explain to your child how they work. Stop. Leave a safe amount of distance between yourself and the road, or follow the directions on the pedestrian crosswalk system if there is one. Look both ways. Make sure to take your time looking around for any oncoming traffic. If traffic is coming, let it pass. Children are not able to judge speed as well as adults. Make sure you can see both directions clearly before trying to cross. Listen, sometimes you can hear traffic before you can see. Number 5, safely cross. Go straight across and don't run. Only go when there is enough time and continue to look and listen as you go. Look out for cyclists and quieter vehicles as you may not hear them approaching, and never use a mobile phone or other device while crossing. Cross quickly so you aren't in the road for too long. Internet safety rules. When you and your family use the internet, you are often unknowingly exposing yourself to a wide range of potential online threats. Digital landscapes, as we know, are constantly evolving as cybercriminals devise new ways to target internet users. Here is a list of just some of the biggest internet dangers you need to watch out for. Identity theft, data breaches, malware and viruses, phishing and scam emails, fake websites, online scams, romance scams, inappropriate content, cyberbullying, and faulty privacy settings. Essential internet safety tips. 1. Make sure you're using a secure internet connection. Although using public Wi-Fi is not recommended, it's sometimes unavoidable when you're out and about. However, when you go online in a public place and use a public Wi-Fi, you have no direct control over security, which could leave you vulnerable to cyber attacks. And if you need to do any one of these, use a virtual private network or VPN. Choose strong passwords. A strong password is made up of at least 12 characters, a mix of characters, uppercase, lowercase, plot symbols, and numbers. Using a password manager can help. 3. Enable multi-factor authentication where you can. 4. Keep software and operating systems updated. 5. Check that website look and feel reliable. Review your privacy settings and understand privacy policies. Be careful of suspicious links and where you click. Make sure your devices are secure. Back up data regularly and close unused accounts. Be careful what you download. Be careful what you post and where. Be careful who you meet online. Double check online informations. Use a good antivirus and keep it updated.
All right, welcome back. You're watching Women's Corner. Now, that is a back-to-back tips, and all of them is just because of Christmas. I know a lot of people have been doing this internet dating thing, and of course, now their man is back, or their man is soon to be back next week, because Christmas is next week. So we have to be careful. And for those who will see their friends getting married because they got online, they started dating online, and you want to try that. Those tips, internet safety rules, is for you, so you have to be very careful. And also for road safety tips, this is Christmas. Hey, don't drink and drive. You want to cross, see if it takes you 5 minutes to cross, take 5 minutes. Don't be in a rush. Funny enough, that reminds me, during Christmas carol, night carol lessons, that was this week, I was going to church, and a woman with her child crossed the express. They crossed the express, and one of her footwear actually, fell off from her leg, or removed from her leg on the expressway. And the way she was so lackadaisical about the way she was just slurring and going to pick the slippers.
Was there traffic or
what traffic? I said it's expressway. Express, like they're passing.
So where was the child?
The child even crossed and was looking at the mom, and I too was also looking at her, and I was like, what's going on? And if you see the way I shouted, it was not just me. One person was walking, she's like, what is it, just slippers? What? Leave the slippers alone first. Let all the cars.
Exactly.
Yes. So these are the safety rules we have to. Hey, December. Hey, 1st of January. Don't play.
Oh my God,
if not, you're going to learn hard. Don't do that. I'm being honest. Do not do that. So, but anyways, that's just one of the things we need to go. And for those who are also driving, if you know you love driving at night, reduce your driving at night. For now, let's even do the Happy New Year. I'm not saying you should now after Happy New Year do anyhow. Just even fast, follow the rules and just be safe. Okay, today we're talking about enhancing your relationship from a woman's perspective, and also to know when to take a walk. So I hope the video is ready. If the video is ready, I'm just going to call the video in so she can give responses to all the questions I asked. And basically, let me just read the questions out, what I asked her and what she was able to give response to. The first question I asked her was, okay, if a lady is in a relationship and things have been happening, things have been going wrong, and somehow the lady wants to keep staying, wants to keep enjoying the relationship, when is the right time for her to take a walk? When would she know that, okay, I don't try, let me take a walk, this man will never change, this man will be like this one will not consider me? When do you take a walk? And also, is it possible to actually enhance your relationship to make it better, knowing that it might end if one doesn't try? Now the point is, me and you are trying to make things work. That's a different thing. But you are trying, but somewhere inside your mind, you know it's never going to work, even if that's why you're trying. Now, how do you enhance it? Do you just stop trying, or you can actually keep trying and make it? Then the next question was, what is the best way to enhance a relationship, obviously? And is it possible to get better in a relationship after enhancement? Which, of course, when your head is telling you it will not work, will it eventually work? Is there a miracle or something that actually happens? And of course, at what point should a woman take a walk? But if we have the video, let's play Nike Ajayi's video. After the short break, we'll play Nike Ajayi's video so we could get responses from a life coach. And of course, basically, despite going for vacation, she actually went to do more of what she loves doing, which is coaching, relationship, and counseling people in marriage. So let's have a short break. And after that, we'll be playing Nike Ajayi's video in response to all these questions. And please, women, listen, this is especially for you this Friday. We'll be right back.
Thank you for having me once again. And it's good to be here on Galaxy TV. Yes, back to your question. It's possible to enhance your relationship once you have a glimpse that is about hitting the rock, or it's about being challenged. One thing, like I often say, that we're not nurtured to look thoroughly at and observe. One institution that we are not nurtured to observe is a marital institution. If you have a business and you realize that there's a trouble, there's a challenge with a business, would you wait until that business hits the rock? If you are an employee and you have been served a memo, eventually a query, would you wait until a disciplinary action is taken against you, or you are eventually fired? It's only a careless person that does that. So if we don't do that concerning our jobs, our businesses, why would you wait until things get worse? You know, every one of us, There are seasons of our lives in our marriage that they'll be challenged. Either you were the cause or you were not, directly or indirectly. Things will happen that will challenge our marriage. Nobody is immune to challenges. But what makes us different is our action and reaction against it. What do we do? How do we respond? You know, responsibility is a combination of two words. Our ability to respond, response and ability to situations. Do we react or respond? So it's very possible you can enhance your marriage at the face of a challenging situation, and that marriage can still be saved. Thank you. Yes, it's very possible to get better in a relationship after enhancement. I would always say this: by the grace of God, we've seen those in court about to rule, about to go to court to start their divorce proceedings, come back to say they are no longer taking that step. We've seen a couple, we've experienced a couple that their divorce proceedings have been concluded. And they decided that they were not more going to divorce. So it's possible. But it has to do with two. It takes two to tango. As many that are ready to follow the principles. There are principles of marriage. There are principles of marriage. Once you are willing and you are intentional, especially if it is mutual, to follow, why not? Why not? It's possible that you can enhance your marriage and you could still be lovebirds again. But some, the hurts could have been deeper. That's why we encourage singles to ensure they have adequate and effective professional sessions, coaching or counseling sessions before the marriage, so that they will have understood who they want to get married to. There is no human being that does not have the good side and the bad side, because it will help you understand the history of who you are getting married to. And because if you're now dealing with those that are married, the challenges could be very, very deep. So in such situations, some might need therapy. Some might even have to separate for a while. That's the truth. Because if it is so toxic, some have to separate. But the challenge we have is that when couples are advised to separate for a while, who are they joining with? Who are they joining? Are they joining with a therapist, a coach, a counselor? Do they have support system? Because it's not enough to separate. It's what are you doing with the period of separation to enhance that marriage? That's what makes the difference. So it's very possible for such marriages to still be saved. Now to your question that says, what are the best ways to fix or enhance a marriage? I won't say there are best ways. There are unique ways that are unique to each marriage. Every marriage has a unique story. Every marriage has a unique challenge based on the two individuals doing the marriage, based on their personality differences, based on their strengths and their weaknesses, their stories, their family histories, and their emotional makeup. These are the things that could, if they are not managed, might have caused challenges in marriage. So in the uniqueness of who we are, so those are the things that will bring that. But generally speaking, I can just prefer some few steps. You start with self-awareness. Every marriage starts with an individual. So the first person we want to hear from is the person that is aware that there is a problem. Because there are situations on counseling table that we have a willing spouse and an unwilling spouse. The one that is willing to seek for solution is the first person to face and to help navigate the challenges. So where it starts is that person, that spouse, that is actually aware that there is a problem. So once he or she is aware that there is a problem, it makes the journey easier. So self-awareness, and once they are aware, then self-discovery. How have you also contributed to what is happening? So at that self-discovery, you can now go through a memory lane of how you actually started a beautiful relationship, either from dating to courtship to eventual wedding and marriage. That what happened, those emotions, what were you actually doing right when you were lovebirds, when you could not do without each other? So you go back to the memory lane. Perhaps you stopped doing something, or the challenges that you had or you have presently stopped you from doing the things you were meant to do. So when you get to that level of self-awareness, you know that. So now you're facing yourself, and you are telling yourself the truth. Sometimes it could be hard, it could be bitter, because in some cases you may not even be the major cause of the challenge. But since you are the one that is aware, we have to start with you. You have to start with you. So that's what we are talking of: self-awareness, self-discovery. And at that level, you move to self-discipline. What are the things you need to drop? What are the things you need to journalize? As you journalize, you pray. For us, we are big on prayers, because we know that God is the author of marriage, and there is nothing we can do without him. The Bible says, in him we move, and we have our being. In him we live, we move, and we have our being. So when we know that there is nothing we can do without him, when you journalize, you pray for strength to navigate. You pray for his strength and his grace to breathe upon it. You commit the heart of your spouse into the hands of God. And as you journalize, it helps you to go into self-discipline. What does self-discipline do? You learn in sacrifice to know what to let go. What you are letting go may be right. You learn to let go, and you empathize. At that level, you must have introspected to know how you also contributed, whether majorly or mildly, to what is happening, or you never contributed at all. Sincerely, I don't believe that it's only one person that is always wrong. No matter what, it's the two parties. You may not know how you have contributed, and it may also be a very little one, and it could be germane. As a matter of fact, the fact that you took a decision to marry each other is a contribution already to what is happening. So you take responsibility and you begin to self-discipline. So at that point, you move to empathy, because self-discipline will make you meditate, introspect, and you are able to pray without bitterness, without forgiveness. And at that point, it will be easy for you to put your spouse in your shoes. That, okay, maybe I didn't do this right. Maybe I did this, that was why I behaved this way, that was why she behaved this way. It will help you empathize instead of being judgmental. And when you empathize, then you can move to communication, because empathy makes communication have connection. You connect to your spouse, you connect to his or her pains or his or her challenges, you connect to his or her ignorance. All right. At what point should a woman take a walk? I believe this is actually gender-based. So let's face the woman, because I would rather say, at what point should anyone take a walk? I was still in a session with someone yesterday, and it was a man, a divorcee, that is trying to remarry after about 6 years of his divorce situation. And from him, he said his wife was abusive to him. Do you get that? That his wife always physically abuses him. So, and we're like looking through the history, that many times we focus on women, but abuse can be either way. So I would say, at what point should anyone take a walk from the marriage? At the point where your life is threatened, at the point where the marriage has become a coffin burying you, burying your purpose and destiny. Because we have realized that and you don't have to do this alone. Now there is a threshold. There is a very thin threshold for especially this generation to stay in marriage. While we are trying to now say that no marriage should take a life of anybody, that's the truth. Nobody should also make an excuse to jet out of marriage, because it's always, now it's as if at any point anybody can just carry his or her bag and move out after 6 months, 3 months, 3 years. That's not ideal for our family preservation. But we will not watch and see the lives of people go down the drain because of marriage. Your life is more important.
All right, welcome back to the show Women's Corner. I'm very sure you're listening to what Nike said, Nike Ajayi said. She made so much sense. She gave valid explanations to the questions that Rose Blossom asked, and I'm sure she also spoke about a lot of things. For example, when to walk away and all of that. You see that when to walk away? Oh my God. To be honest, it can be really, really hard. It can be really hard. So, but before I speak about when to walk away, or before we talk about it, I'd like to ask a question, Rose Blossom. So, can you agree with me that one of the biggest challenges a relationship and marriage has is communication? Honestly, I feel like that's one of the biggest challenges.
That is.
Sometimes partners don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to communicate to the point of matters not escalating or issues not escalating. So I want to ask a question. So how do you think partners should handle tough conversations? Because there will be a time in a relationship when it should happen.
Well, for me, the truth of the matter is, when it is a tough conversation, I think both parties have to be in a very relaxed mood. If not, it will turn to quarrel, shouting, and anger, and expressions, and probably expressing in the wrong way. So if I and you are having a very difficult issue, or maybe something that is almost like a regular thing, and we need to talk about it, for me, I don't think talking about it when the tension is high is wise. Because you're only going to get defensive, and the other person is going to get defensive, or the person's always going to have a reason to talk, or the reason to, I know what I'm doing, or this is what I'm doing, and the other person is like, I know what I'm doing, I did this because you did it. There's going to be so much excuse, and nobody's willing to actually really listen, even though they're listening. That's why I always give tips of active listening, which is different from listening. I could listen to you, but I'm not actively listening to you. So I get your message, but I'm not digesting it. And I'm not looking at ways or possibility to make it work. So if it gets so tensed, please ease yourself out. Go have fun. Take yourself out. Go to your favorite spot. When you see the mood is lightened up, then you talk about it casually, but and he knows that what you're discussing is a deep-seated truth that you guys just need to talk about and face. And if you could do that, it does not work, look for another option. Probably try it again, keep trying again. And if you keep trying again and it's not working, then you have to talk to either her mentor or his mentor, or then you might have to even talk to a pastor if possible.
Okay, so how about a partner who likes to really talk about something when it is hot, and you don't like to talk about that kind of thing? That is what he stands for. That is his standard. When it's hot, as it is hot, make I just
Let's they talk about it.
Yes.
Well, if I'm the woman and he's the man, and he likes to talk about it when he's hot, trust me, he cannot make sense to himself or me. But to him, it's making sense because that's where it hurts. And that's like I don't like this. I've always told, see, he's making a point. But to be honest, I don't think he might be able to place those points well. I don't think he will even talk to you in a way that you would even want to understand. So at that point, when you know that's who he is, allow him talk.
What if that talking not triggers?
Yes. Now
Because it will trigger.
That's the point a lot of women cannot handle.
Oh my God.
Because when he now triggers something in
Yeah.
you, I think you have to find a way to breathe and just quickly apologize. Just end that conversation. Find a way to end the conversation. If you know what he's actually looking for from all those his complaints, just give it to him at that point. And breathe, because you need to breathe. Because if a woman should blow up,
Actually,
tell me
it's
that
gonna be
clothes will
more
not fit
than-
again.
It's gonna be more
In
than
fact, the
a
man
man's blow.
we will like, wait, what did I talk? Where reach this one? Like, what did I say wrong? But that's how a woman is. A woman will always want to express herself, and when she's talking, trust me, by the time she's done talking, some of them don't remember what they said.
Exactly.
They just probably just said it because they wanted to explode. So I think it's just to make sure you guys are at ease. Crazy. I love to. If I'm angry, if I don't like what you're doing and I'm angry with you, I will not attack. I'll just go easy on you. But if I feel like you're working on my emotions, I can just flash back at you. But naturally, what I would do is to keep quiet when we're having fun, when everything is easy, and I'll find a way to tell you. But the way I will tell you might not even be subtle to you, because you might be expecting that. We're playing now. Where did all this one come from? But because I was holding it, and now I really need to express it, since I see that everywhere is calm. When I express it, you won't take it the way it would have been if I had said it just the way. Yeah. So I think that's the best thing I do. I'm a life coach. What do you mean?
Come on, book Rose Blossom, please.
Anyway, our time is already like running. But because it's entertainment, we have to run along too, and also at least check out some of the events we've had during the year. And of course, the one I'll be bringing first is Humor Award. It was amazing. Of course, Tonya was there at that event, and it was amazing. All thanks to you. See, Dominic here has been doing this for years, and every time he takes his walk down to the station to drop the card. So this one is just to show you what actually went down. And of course, we know what Humor Award is. It's basically for comedians, skit makers, content creators. So yes, a lot of people won awards, and congratulations to them once again. This happened, I think, a few months back, but we're bringing it your way again, just in case if you've missed it. So let's go watch Humor's Award. And when we come back, we'll just be wrapping up all the talk about relationships, women, and their interesting ways. So let's go watch this. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
The Humor Awards 2024 brought an electric atmosphere as stars of comedy, entertainment, and media graced the red carpet at the prestigious event held at the Oriental Hotel, Victoria Island, Lagos. The red carpet saw an impressive lineup of notable personalities, including comedians, actors, skit makers, and social media influencers.
I'm nominated in 2 categories.
Wow!
Yes, comedy show of the year and animation comedy show. I'm going to comedy brand. Yeah, hopefully my classes will be received.
Yeah, I feel so excited and I'm happy to be part of the event. Being nominated is a lot for me. Amazing.
Oh, well, okay, so this is A Stitch's collection. They made this lovely outfit. I particularly love yellow. Yellow is my favorite color.
Oh, that's nice.
So I decided to rock it because I'm a nominee also, aside from being a performing artist. So
Amazing, yeah. As the event kicked off, the attendees were eager to see who would take home the top prizes in the different categories.
I think I don't know the nominees. I don't know any of them. I think I don't.
Is one of the like Wasabi,
Nasboy. Nasboy is multi-talented. You all know it's going to be Nasboy for that category. I don't know what category it is, but Nasboy is multi-talented, and I think it will win.
First of all, shout out to the organizers for having an award that looks out for people who take their time, because humor is not easy. No matter how much is God given, there's time, there's effort, there's money. So shout out to them for creating something like this, and then to the nominees. I can't say I'll pick one, but for you to be nominated, it means that you're good enough. So congratulations to everybody, and let the best man win.
I'm looking for the award, the time for the award you get. Also, I'm also looking up to some people up there, because let me just put it this way: I'm still an upcoming. So, but that is
You're a comedian.
yeah, I'm almost a comedian.
Wow, amazing, amazing.
Yeah, so shout out to the organizers. They've done a lovely job. Really, very organized. Amazing place, amazing venue. And all to nominees, all the nominees, keep doing what you're doing. Just keep working hard. Keep putting out your content because obviously you're being recognized. So obviously you're doing something right.
Another stellar moment was the presentation of a posthumous award to the late Nollywood actor John Okafor, also known as Mr. Ibu. His wife was present to receive the award.
As much as he's not here with us tonight, but at least I'm here to receive an award on his behalf. That is awesome. You understand? So wherever he is right now, maybe he's watching us, he's watching everything that is happening here. I think it's okay and I'm okay with it. I'm fine with it as long as I'm here on his behalf.
The Humor Awards 2024 was a night to remember, celebrating not just the humor, but the heart behind the Nigerian comedy.
All right, welcome back to the Women's Corner. As we'll be wrapping up very soon, I have one or two things to share, just in case you're joining. I mean, Nike Ajayi did. She did really good explaining to us about enhancing your relationship from a woman's perspective and when to walk away. She did justice to that explanation. And like I said, if you missed it, I'll just give you 3 things pertaining to what she said. Now, the first thing she said was that every marriage has a unique story. Your marriage, your relationship, it has a unique story. So find out what works for you. And then the other one is have open communication, and also practice understanding and practice empathy. Practice empathy. A lot of partners are not. They don't have empathy for their partners. It's very bad. So practice empathy. And this would bring us to the end of the show. Trust you learned 1 or 2 things, because I did. And I'm going to practice empathy and practice open conversation with my partner. Yes. We'll be seeing you very, very shortly. Why did you say yes
because
on that
I'm
one?
The partner.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
You love me. All right, over to you, Rose Blossom.
Okay, all right. We've come to the end of today's program. I hope you learned 1 or 2, like she said. She listed the 3 things, and those are amazing things you need to put. I want to even add active listening. Sometimes it's just about hearing him or her out. You have to try to understand. And, it's amazing how, a lot of pastors, a lot of relationship coaches and therapists will always tell you that anytime the biggest mistake a man would ever make is try to understand the woman.
Right.
Because even we, to be honest, we do not even understand ourselves. Sometimes we'll react and we'll be like, wow, I just did that just because of that small thing. We actually know, but it's amazing. I just wish all you men out there the strength and the fortitude to do this. We are behind your back. But don't forget, they'll still be the ones to, always tend to you and take care of you and still love you. Trust me, they do love you. She loves you. It's just the extra thing, the extra ingredient that God puts into us. And I don't know when or the time or how. I would have told you the secret to you so you'll be able to unravel what is behind all our drama. But anyways, that's where we'll come to the end of today's program. My name is Rose Blossom.